Good morning. I'm Tim Ferlingos with the Delta Flight Museum. We're here in the right wing fuel tank of the 747 of ship 6301. We try to do Facebook Live. No signal down here, so we're going to do what we can and then post it later. But we do want to show you some of this stuff. This is kind of a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for us, so we're really happy to see it. We are in, as you can see, it's not one big open fuel tank. If you want to look down here, you can see that the fuel tanks are actually divided by walls. This keeps the fuel from draining to one side or the other when the aircraft makes maneuvers. And then of course each fuel tank is actually almost completely separated, and there's a series of pumps and hoses that helps distribute the fuel during flight, distributes it to engines and also between the fuel tanks to make sure that the flight stays balanced. In fact, I remember when we brought the plane over, we kept fuel in it just because the plane is so efficient. Fuel's really needed for ballast, and so we kept some of the fuel in it and drained it when we finally got over here to make sure it came over smoothly when we were taxiing it over here. So we're gonna head out, but before we do that, I wanted to show a few things off. So I'm gonna ask if Austin can bring the camera over here. So this is the wall. They're doing some work upstairs. This is the wall to the fuselage fuel tank. So that's the main tank under the aircraft. And then if you can bring it up here, you notice those two darker nuts and bolts that are coming out. That is part of the system that's going to be holding up our wing walk. So you can see how they actually use holes that were already in the aircraft to then use them to support the wing walk. So we're going to go ahead now and make our way out through this kind of labyrinth to where we came. I'm going to grab the light so we don't leave it in here. And our tour guide that you'll see in front of us, this is Jeff Rembez with Delta Tech Ops. He's been one of the guys working on the wing walk for us, and he's been one of the guys who's been in the tank probably most of all, making sure that those holes got drilled in the right places to support the wing walk. So maneuver out, and you can see each chamber. I think we counted 7 that we climbed through. And these holes here are not only to distribute the fuel, but to distribute workers as they come through and check these fuel tanks when that's needed. You can see over here some through here, that's going back to the back of the wing.
Here's a good picture too, when it comes out, all the way, how big it really is from front to back.
From front to back, yeah. You see everything labeled, so if anything ever needs to be replaced, everything has its own number. And this here, this is the ribs, and on top of here is where you get to the actual the skin of the wing. So we're going to round the corner and get to the hatch, the fuel tank hatch, where we'll exit. And then this would take us to another, this is the wall. Okay, so I'm going to go down the hatch, and Austin's going to follow me. There we go. So that's our update this week. We'll see you next week at the same time. A lot more going on. Bye. Have a great weekend.